Hello and welcome to GBR. You find us today racing with the guys from the MRC in Season 5, new season for the GT3 World Series. It's back and for 10 weeks or 10 rounds it will be going for. As you can see here, we are at Daytona for round 1. This is lobby 1 for a 60-minute race here. This is the road course, not the oval. I don't think many guys would want to do Group 3s in the oval. So after 10 minutes of qualifying, Hero Cram starts on pole in the Ford GT. Quick in a straight line, not too sure about the corners. In second we have Judge in the Ferrari. In third place we have Dark Clark, also in a Ferrari. In fourth place we have Midnight. It's a common theme, this, in another Ferrari. In fifth place, a bit of a change here, is Martin R in the Lexus. In sixth place in seventh place is Toby in a Lexus. If you like SpongeBob, have a look at them cheeks. In eighth place we have Brucey in the Jag. In ninth place we have Fat Pickles, also in a Jag. In 10th place we have Infinity James in the Audi, I think. Yes, in the Audi. In 11th place we have Donkey Chong in the Corvette. I think it was a last minute change for him, so that's why there's no delivery on that one for this round. Hopefully will be one for next, this round 2. In 12th place we have P. Gibb in the Renault. In 13th we have Portugal Don in the Jag. In 14th we have Golden Brownie in the VW Beetle. I know there's someone on the grid that absolutely loves the car and will be happy to see it on there. In 15th place is Fabuki. Not very good qualifying for Fabuki in the Lexus. Hopefully that will change for the race. And in 16th place we have Lees in a Ferrari. Right, Howard Frenson there on the door. So we have 16 for round 1. So let's jump trackside, jump to the front. Make sure I'm coming through before I do this race. That's what I want to be doing. Yep, cool, lovely. Shut up. There we go. And let's get these guys underway for this 1 hour race at Daytona. 5 lights. And away we go. Someone at the back there doesn't get a good start. That's Donkey Chong. He gets spun round on the start line. For Buki there, having looked like had to wait up. But Hero Cram, shocking start off the line in that Ford. But the Ferrari's there up towards the front. Dark Clark leading the way into turn 1. Judge and Hero Cram going side by side on the exit there. Midnight in 4th place, watching this all unfold. And for a move up the inside of Hero Cram, but Hero Cram's going to get the cut back on the exit of the International Horseshoe there. Down towards the Western Horseshoe we go. Dark Clark still leading the way. Judge does hold on to 2nd place ahead of Hero Cram, even though Hero Cram tried for the cut back, just couldn't make it work. Midnight 4th, Martin R 5th, JRC 6th. Portugal Don up to 7th place. A cracking start there for Portugal Don. Fat Pickles in 8th, Toby 9th, Infinity James 10th, Brucey 11th, Golden Brownie in 12th, P. Gibb in 13th, Donkey Chong there in 14th, Fabuki 15th, and leads that there in 16th place. But at the front, the 2 Ferraris are going to go side by side. No bump drafting allowed, so this will be a long race. Being sat in behind someone, but Dark Clark there is going to be leading the way into the Le Mans chicane for the first time. Got to get a good drive out of here. Obviously he's going to be under threat from Judge, Herocram and potentially Midnight as we come round the last couple of corners. Here comes Herocram in the Ford GT. Don't need any slipstream for the Ford. He just powers his way up to the rear end of Dark Clark and just, oh, there we go, drives straight on past towards towards turn 1. Across the line we go. So Herocram obviously has set purple lap at the moment, but that was just only the first lap currently. So Dark Clark, Judge and Midnight, they're going to be fighting these Ferraris, and that's going to give Martin R a chance to, ooh, a bit of a slight tap there between Martin R and Midnight, but he's going to go around the outside at the Western International Horseshoe, or turn 4. These side by side as we come through the kink up towards the next hairpin. Is he going to be able to keep it round the outside, or will Midnight try and close the door on the exit? No, Martin R does carry the speed round the outside of the International Western Horseshoe. I will get them right in a minute. So up to 4th place for Martin R. JRC there in 6th. Portugal Don in 7th. A little bit of a gap to Toby there in 8th place. Brucey in 9th. Golden Brownie in 10th. P-Gib in 11th. James is back here, same as Pickles. What's happened with them? Pickles is waiting. Oh, there goes James, it looks like, into the wall. Let's jump on Chase Cam as we're coming through turn 1 here. Oh, slight tap there from Fat Pickles. Oh, Golden Brownie. James there on the exit. That's unfortunate there for James. It's dropped him down to 15th place now. I'll jump back to where we were roughly. But he's right behind Fabuki. Is he going to try and go around the outside of the Lexus? I think the Lexus is a little bit faster in a straight line. And there you go, you can see the Lexus now opening up the taps down towards the chicane. But there's definitely a gap between, obviously, Fabuki here in 13th and Donkey Chong there in 12th. Good, what's that, 3 or 4 seconds I would say between the two of them. Golden Brownie going side by side with Brucey now as we're coming up towards the line. Brucey's going to be on the inside for turn 1, so hopefully he'll be able to make, or keep this 9th place from Golden Brownie. Yeah, he breaks a little bit later there. Golden Brownie just concedes the place. Will he try for the exit? No, Brucey gets it all sideways coming out, but Golden Brownie can't make ends meet of getting past Brucey at the moment, which is letting Toby in front just put away. There's a bit of a gap opening up between Brucey and Toby there is a little bit on his own in 8th place. Dark Clark's down to 3rd place now. Judge there moved himself up to 2nd. Obviously tyres is a factor in this one. They have to use all 3 compounds, so softs, medium and hards for this race. So Herocram on the soft, Judge there on the soft, Dark Clark on the hards, Martin R on the soft, same as Midnight. So Dark Clark doing well there on the hards to keep ahead of these two, but they're fighting as they're coming down towards the bus stop as the plane there in the background coming in to land. Midnight does get ahead of Martin R. It's hard to see from that camera angle with how low it was into the bus stop, but now I reckon, oh, who was that? That was Don doing a bit of grass cutting, going through the chicane there. Did he get it all wrong? Looked like he did. Let's just jump behind as he's coming through here. Oh, slight touch on the grass on the inside of the second right there. He's lucky he didn't get reset on the track. That's going to give a nice little draft to Toby. I'm sure Toby will just probably power on past once they come onto the straight. It looks like Don there just going to move over to the side of the track to let Toby, who is fast approaching, go back past. As I was going through the tyres, JRC, he's on the mediums, Toby on the hards, Don on the mediums, Brucey on the hards, Donkey Chong on the softs, Golden Brownie on the hards. So Donkey Chong's fighting his way up through after that start that he had of spinning out on the grid, just in front of Golden Brownie there, into 10th place for Donkey Chong. What was his lap time? 47 and a 48. So yeah, Golden Brownie and Brucey doing the 50s and 51s. Same as P. Gibb just sat there behind on the hards as well. James there on the softs, obviously unfortunate with that incident with Fat Pickles. So he's going to obviously tried to use the softs early on to gain advantage and just hasn't worked out at the moment. Boogie there on the hards, leads on the hards as well, same as Fat Pickles. But Hiragram fastest lap at the moment of 46.6. I'm sure that will probably be quicker near the end of the race, as we are in the evening sky at the moment. So he pulled 3 tenths over Judge last time round. Judge says gone purple, but I'm sure by the time he comes around to the start finish line that won't be purple any longer, because that Ford is just ridiculous in a straight line. So, and if Judge does improve, I don't think he will do. There's that Ford, I think, is about 5 miles an hour quicker across the line than anything else. Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he lost 3 tenths just going flat out. Midnight there up to 3rd place, so making use of them hard soft tyres compared to Dark Clark's hards. So Dark Clark's dropped down to 4th. Now he's going to have Martin R, who's on the softs. He's going to want to look to try and get past and keep up with Midnight in front. JRC, one of the only guys at the moment on the medium compound tyres, so wanting a little bit of a grip, but doesn't want to wear them out too much. Try and go as long as he can. Obviously we did start on 80% fuel. I can't remember if it's 80% fuel for every race or just the endurance races next week. Ooh, Toby there. Oh, what the hell's happening with Toby? He is lagging all over the place. Hopefully he didn't take anyone out. Let's just jump back. So Toby there, just behind Don into barrier, and he comes back out onto the oval, still behind Dom. So yeah, luckily there was no one really too close to worry about there, but that could have been a bit scary for the likes of Donkey Chong there in 9th place, who has pulled a healthy gap over Golden Brownie, who has got past Brucey now. And we'll try and check out. If I do remember that Jag is lightning in a straight line. Obviously going to be in the slip of the Beetle in front of him. Oh, P gives us a nice drive through there, but having to go to the right hand side of Brucey onto the banking, and James there in the background. He's been closing up to these two drivers, probably wondering which side does he choose for the slipstream, as these two are still side by side. Brucey, he's coming into the pits, so early pit stop there for Brucey, not even 10 minutes into the race. Probably could have gone a little bit longer, I would have thought, with coming in with 40% fuel. It looks like he's the first of the pitters. Leads. Looks like he's had a bad lap, because lap times are pretty consistent up to lap 4, and then yeah, he's had a really bad lap here. He's lost over 20 seconds to the guys in front. Brucey's still in the pit. He hasn't got any fuel going into the car yet. Yes, he has now. Fuel is going in, so it'll probably be a full 100% tank going in for Brucey. We'll see what tyres he goes on to. That's one just staying with Pickles for the second. He's gone to mediums, has Brucey. But back to the front we go. Hero Cram there. Pretty consistent lap times so far, all within 2 tenths of each other. After lap 1, see, standing start is going to be a lot slower. But putting a little bit of a distance over Judge at the moment. But fuel, Hero Cram's probably got a lap less than Judge currently, and we're only halfway through, or just over halfway through this first stint. So Judge should be able to eke out an extra lap over Hero Cram, but these two have got a bit of a lead now over Midnight there in 3rd place. What is the gaps? We've got 3 seconds to Judge, about 3 seconds then from Judge to Midnight, and about 2 seconds between Midnight and Dark Clark. Martin I just can't seem to get past Dark Clark at the moment, so Dark Clark doing some good driving here to defend from Martin R and not lose too much time to Midnight in front, because obviously he's on the harder tyre, so just that little bit slower. Obviously it's not too much of a difference, I don't really believe, between the between each tyre, between soft to medium and then medium to hard. But obviously when you're racing someone on the softs, you'd expect them to try and not push their way past, but try and force a move or a mistake from the car in front and just try and then walk away from them. Obviously Daytona being a track that you want to be in the slipstream of the car in front to help pull you along. JRC there is just doing that in 6th place, just happily biding his time on their mediums. But Martin Up, he's massively fuel saving. He's got about, what, 40% of the tank, where you look at Dark Clark and everyone else, they're about 25% of a tank left or so, around there. So Martin R just sitting there behind Dark Clark, it seems, not wanting to push his way past Dark Clark, even though I'd say that Lexus is faster in a straight line. But I'd have thought he's going for the move at the moment. He's got himself into 4th place. He's going to allow Dark Clark just to slip back past him as we're coming through turn 1. Yes, he is. Dark Clark on the inside retains that 4th place from Martin R. Yeah, Martin R is only not even revving it to halfway, just to save as much fuel as possible. I don't really know how it's going to work, especially with how worn your tyres are. They're already about halfway worn. I suppose about halfway worn through your tank as well here, Martin R. JSC there, just at his fastest lap of the race, 47.7, so a 1 second difference to the fastest lap of the race. Obviously is kind of stuck behind Martin R and Dark Clark. Portugal Don there in 7th place, a little bit on his own at the moment. He's on the medium compound tyres. Toby there, he's just dropped off the rear end of Don, but he is on the harder tyre. Infinity James there, he's got himself up to 9th place. That rear right is not looking pretty. I would think that's going to spin him out at some point if he doesn't come in, I would say in the next 2 to 3 laps, because if he pushes that anymore coming onto this banking, it will just spin him round. And I've just noticed, oh, you got Fabuki on your rear window, well, just behind your driver's head. I was thinking, it does say Infinity James on the left and you got Fabuki on the car, but Hero Cram, he comes into the pit, so he didn't have enough fuel to go anymore. But that's him done for the soft tyres. Fuel, they're only just over halfway worn, but that's going to promote quite a lot of these few drivers up a position. But yeah, Judge did have enough fuel. Looks like he's going to be doing only one more lap because the fuel light is on. So he'll be coming in at the end. The looks of it, Midnight there, he saved a little bit more fuel than Judge. So Judge seems to be pushing that a little bit more than Midnight currently. Dark Clark there, still got Martin R and JRC behind him. I can't seem to get past him at the moment. They're sticking mighty fine to him. Obviously being in dirt, yeah, is just going to wear out the tyres even more. So this right now is fuel saving because he's now on quarter of a tank. It's just wearing out his tyres even more. JRC, he's going to be coming into the pit, I would say, this lap as well. Same as Don. Toby's probably got a couple more. Same as James. Fubuki there in 9th place. He's good on fuel. Fat Pickles is good on fuel for a bit. Herocram, he's out of the pits now. Coming on to the back, and he's gone to the racing medium tyres. P-Gib there, he's on the hards. He's still on his first stint. Leeds, has he pitted? No, he hasn't pitted. He's got a little bit of fuel left. So Brucey is the second of the pitters. Judge comes into the pit. Golden Brownie, he's just coming out of the pits as well. This is his out lap. He's gone to the medium tyres. Doki Chong has gone to the mediums as well this time around. So who have we got come in? Judge, JRC and Don all come into the pit. James goes round 4, one more. Fubuki, he's going to go round 4, another one. Will Fat Pickles come in? Nope, he's going to stay out for, this will be his last lap before he comes into the pit. Here, Graham there, screaming. I think it's a V8 in that one. It might be a V10. Answers on a postcard, please. But he'll start his first flying lap. Goes a little bit deep there through turn 1, recovers it. Hopefully he doesn't get a track limit penalty for going too far wide. No, he must have just kept his tyres on that white line. But he has kept himself ahead of Judge. So once the pit cycles have happened, I think Harold Cram will be back into first place. Once again, look at that fuel. He filled up to 100%. He's done one lap, and you can already see how much that's dropped. That Ford just seems to drink the fuel. Sounds nice, but it does seem to drink it. Just there in 9th. JRC, he's obviously on his out lap as well now. A little bit of distance between him and Judge Don, who is also on his out lap. So it's all a bit. Laser will be coming in this time round. I'll go back through. I'm guessing P-Gib. Yeah, P-Gib has pitted. So Midnight comes into the pit. Duck Clark comes into the pit. Martin, he's got, I'd say, another 2 laps worth of fuel. Probably tyres aren't going to feel great. He's going to be dropping off the lap times as well with how much tyre wear he's got. Toby is also into the pit. I think James is coming in as well. Yes, James will be coming in. Fubuki there, he's probably got enough for one more. Fat Pickles peels off and heads towards the pits. So Herocram's going to move up to second place once all the pit cycles have happened here. Everyone, is it second place? No, it's going to be third. Sorry, I forgot about Fubuki that went through. So back up to third place now for Herocram. Goes a little bit deep again there through turn 1, it seems. No, it looks about Judge done about the same, so that probably is the racing line from that camera angle. It's hard to tell exactly. So yeah, it's a bit mixed up at the moment, but Midnight comes out in 5th place. So yeah, he was behind Judge, so he's about, I'd say, it's hard to tell exactly because the timer starts when he's starting changing tyres, I think it is, for this track. But yeah, Midnight out in 5th, Dark Clark in 6th place. He's probably a bit of a gap over JLC's. JLC's gone to the hards, so he's probably struggling a little bit for the grip, gone from the mediums to the hards. So, and Dark Clark's gone from the hards to the mediums, offs to mediums. Judge has gone to the mediums, and here we go. So a few more guys now on the mediums for this second stint. So obviously it will be 2 pit stops at least for everyone. I don't know about Herocram and Judge. They might be going for 3, just going flat out. Don there, he's gone to the hard tyres, but Where is Fubuki on track? Fubuki's... Everyone apart from Martin R now has pitted at least once. Just hear the scream of that Ford, even if Fubuki in the pit box. But once Fubuki's had his pit, I'll do a little rundown. I don't know how to do that. So are there any battles on track currently? Brucey, Golden Brownie, he's got James not far behind him. As Golden Brownie, James is catching up quick to the rear end of Golden Brownie. Golden Brownie might have had a penalty there. And just getting back up to speed because it is on the run into turn, or the start finish line to turn 1, but Fat Pickles there just ahead of Donkey Kong. Fubuki is coming out just in front of Fat Pickles, and both on the same tyre, but Fubuki's got to warm them tyres up. They do come out the blankets hot, but obviously they do cool down between pit exit and getting onto the racing track, so it's Fat Pickles going to try and make that move on Fubuki, try and use, obviously got one lap warmer tyres than Fubuki. Martin R, he's finally come into the pit, end of lap 12, so you had Hero Crown, I think it was end of lap 8 come in, so Martin R has gained 4 laps of fuel just in the first stint, so yeah, Martin R, if he does that, he's going to be having a very short last stint if he goes to the mediums next, but we'll see where he comes out in a second. But Fat Pickles couldn't make anything of Fubuki coming out of the pits, but he's got Donkey Kong right behind him. As we go through the bus stop, we'll take that one really nicely. I'm just still looking at the track map to see when Martin R comes out of the pits. Leads there, he's been in now. He came in at the end of lap 10, so Martin R is back on track. So Hirocram leads the way in first place, Judge there in second, Midnight in third. Looks like he's being caught a little bit there by Dark Clark. Obviously Midnight on the hards, Dark Clark on the mediums. Martin R there comes out in 5th place, so a little bit of a gap opened up between Dark Clark, Martin R and JRC, because they all were nose to tail just before the pit cycle happened, so Dark Clark kind of gained on both of them, and JRC's just lost out. Toby there, he's caught and overtaken Don by the looks of it. Don there getting it all sorts of sideways, coming onto the banking in 8th place. Brucey there in 9th, not too far behind Don. So you can probably see him just looking at that top left of the windscreen. You can just see Don up ahead as we've gone on to the back straight now. You can see obviously a few guys up ahead of him as well. So Brucey doing well so far. Golden Brownie there in 10th, just ahead of Infinity James in 11th place. Fubuki there in 12th. Donkey Kong, he's got past Fat Pickles for 13th. So they're all on mediums, these three, so who will be able to look after their tyres the best. Fat Pickles there 14th, P-Gib there in 15th. What's happened to P-Gib? Must have been lap 6, he had a 2:03, so a very slow lap. I must have lost it somewhere, I must have missed that one. And he's there in 16th, so that is your standings currently. 25 minutes into this race, we've got 35 minutes left to go, but Hirocram and Judge all going by themselves at the moment. Dark Clark, he's got past Midnight, so me going through the grid. There we go, Midnight had a penalty and Dark Clark just took advantage and drove straight past, I'm guessing. Yeah, Midnight's not going to be able to fight it because he's just going too slow, so yeah. So back to where we were. So Dark Clark up to 3rd place now. How far has he got? 50, about 7 seconds, 7 to 8 seconds between Dark Clock and Judge, both on the same tyre, both in the same car. Obviously BOP is applied for this series, so it's all down to the driver now. Judge has got, I think it was 1 lap. Lap to Dark Clock coming lap 10. Judge came in on lap 9. Oh, he's picked up a half-second penalty as Judge. That'll be cutting the exit of the bus stop. Yeah. And obviously with cutting it, you do have to serve it literally 20 seconds later as you come up to the penalty gates. So that'll just lose a little bit of time between him and Dark Clock. Dark Clock will see that, because obviously they do have the live timings during the race. We don't get it on the replay, which obviously Funny Digital need to sort out. Yeah, a nice little thing to have whilst looking at the replays and doing the commentary. But Midnight in 4th place still. It's just ahead of Martin R. Oh, Martin R. getting the tail out of turn 1, manages to keep it facing in the right direction. So don't lose too much time to Midnight in front of him. Toby there. JRC, what's happened to JRC? He's had a stonker of a lap. Why did he lose that? He's already damped. Oh, there we go. Let's jump on board with JRC, and I'll go back to where we were in a second. Pretty much identical to what Don done many laps ago. Gets it back on track. Does he get reset? No, he doesn't, which is lucky for JRC. So we're here. Let's get back to the trackside. So JRC down to 8th place now. Toby and Don have slipped on by. So lucky there for JRC. It's only a slight little mistake, even nearly halfway into the race, and you lose 2 positions. So it really is still very close, apart from Hero Crown and Judge that have kind of checked out a little bit. This mid-pack, as you can see on the track map top right, all the way from Midnight in 4th. Dark Clock's got a little bit of a gap over Midnight at the moment, down to where we're going to go to Fat Pickles. Yeah, Fat Pickles in 14th, so 4th to 14th, all covered, I would say, you know, within 15 seconds or so of each other. And you know, one little mistake from cutting a corner and spinning out, you could end up losing 5-6 places quite easily. But Donkey Kong, he's worked his way past Fubuki now. Must have been on the last lap, because there's Fubuki just looking after his tyres. Yeah, Donkey Kong absolutely drinking his fuel. He's got less than half, and Fubuki's got over, or just around 3/4 of a tank left. But Donkey Kong, oh no, Donkey Kong did come in quite early, come in at the end of lap 8. Looking at the timing, so that'll probably be why his fuel's a lot lower. P-Gib there 15th. Lee's there in 16th. It looks like he's not too far from being lapped from Hero Cram. They're kind of both on the back straight now. If you call this one a straight, it's still technically turn 2 of the tri-oval course. Trying to find if there's a little battle on track. Is Toby catching up? Toby is catching up to Martin, both in the same car. 48.9 and the 49.4, 47.8 and 48.1. So yeah, good second or so, couple of seconds taken out of Martin R by Toby in the last couple laps. But obviously there's a massive difference in fuel, not too much. But SpongeBob is coming. Dom there in 7th place. He's just dropping off the back of Toby. JRC there. He's obviously going to be trying to push. He's on the hards, and so is Don. So they're both on the same compound of tyre. Brucey there, he's catching up to JRC the last couple of laps as well. So Brucey's trying to get in on the mix, but he's going to be coming into the pits fairly shortly. He's only got about 20% of fuel left, so probably 2 laps, maybe 3, depending on if you can fuel save a little bit. Golden Brownie in 10th. He's opened up a little bit of a gap to James there in 11th. Donkey Chong there in 12th. Is he catching up to? Yeah, he's got 47, but it's half a second here and there between Donkey Chong and James. Which obviously is kind of bringing Fubuki and Fat Pickles along with him. Fubuki getting the tail out of that Lexus, out of the International Horseshoe. Obviously looking at some cars with low fuel. Fubuki's Hirocram good on fuel for 2 laps probably in that Ford. I reckon he's probably only got about 10 laps of fuel per tank. Can't be very good, but what we'll do is quickly jump on board. We'll go from the roof of the Ford for a lap guide at Daytona. So across the start finish line, coming up towards turn 1, coming off the banking here. Don't get too close to the tyre wall because you will end up spinning out through the little chicane here of 2 and 3, and then in towards the International Horseshoe. 180 degree right hander, and use as much track as you can on the exit to carry the speed out, and then through the little kink here between the horseshoes and then into the Western Horseshoe now. And then once again another 180 degree right hander, and down towards this left hander, back onto the banking we go. So you've got to be careful when applying the throttle because it's the rear end. Can try and step out a little bit here and there, but out onto the banking, just opening up the taps for this Ford. Round technically turn 2 of the tri-oval, and on onto the back straight, looking for that 100 board, it looks like, for Hirocram in towards the Le Mans chicane. Here we go, gets that one quite nicely done, and then on to the banking again for turns 3 and 4 of the tri-oval. Up towards the penalty gates. This is where you serve them, so you have no time between getting a penalty and doing a lap to pull away. Pit lane on the left hand side and up towards the start finish line. 47 dead there for Hirocram. Just going to have a quick drinks break. Looks like Dark Clark is closed. Where is he? Closed a second, and then half a second, and then a tenth. So he is slowly closing in on Judge there in second place is Dark Clark. A little bit more fuel with Dark Clark and a little bit better tyre than Judge currently has. Now that the floodlights are on, the night is coming in. We've got 26 minutes, sorry, of the race to go. This will be finishing in the darkness with the stars coming out. Midnight there in 4th place. He's definitely been caught by Toby, so Midnight's been struggling, it looks like, on these harder tyres at the moment. Currently high 48s, low 49s, and Toby's been doing mid 47's still a little bit laggy there from Toby. He has caught and overtaken Martin there. Must have missed that. Probably was on the lap guide with Hirocram, but Hirocram come into the pits, so good job I done that lap guide when I did. But yeah, Martin he's going to probably try and keep up with Toby in front of him. It looks like he is struggling to keep up with him. You see the sparks coming off the cars now as we come around the banking. Oh, Toby's picked up a half second. That's going to drop him back behind Martin surely. And when he serves that one, too early for him to come into the pit. He's got too much fuel. But here comes Martin just drives around the outside of Toby. Toby's going to stick right behind him now, probably through the infield. Oh, Martin goes a little bit deep there. Toby's cut up the inside. Going to be side by side through the S's. Toby just gets in front. Is Martin going to go for the move up towards into International Horseshoe? No, he's going to be tucked up right behind the rear end of Toby's car. But Hirocram's come out in 6th place now. So I think he came out in 8th or 9th in the first stint, but he's now come out in 6th. But obviously he's pitted 35 minutes in. Yeah, and that was a full tank, and he came in I think about 16 minutes into the race, so he can't even make a full tank last 20 minutes. I would think Hirocram's going, if I actually looked at the screen of where I should be, he's only got half tank fuel in, so yeah, he's going for a short stint on the hards. Obviously you've got to do a minimum of 3 laps, so he's probably put half tank is probably nearly three laps for that Ford. So yeah, he'll be doing his minimum 3 laps. Probably will do about 5, and then come in if you can eke fuel out, and we go back to the softs, I would think. But that's going to be quite close, I think, for these guys. But Dark Clark there, I think it was about 7 seconds when Dark Clark got past Midnight to try and catch up to Judge in front of him. And it is now, I'd say, about 2 to 3 seconds between them. 47.7 there, fastest lap for Dark Clark of his race so far. And 48.4, so 7 tenths caught up. Don's come into the pit now. 48.7 for Midnight. 48.3, so Toby is catching, and obviously he's bringing Martin R with him as well. He crams on his first flying lap. JRC, he's going to be coming into the pit probably at the end of this lap, same as Golden Brownie. James has got a couple of laps left, same as Fubuki. He's eking that fuel out in that Lexus, so the Lexus seems to be pretty good on the fuel. It just seems to be a little bit of a handful, probably on the corner exits. That Pickles there, he's good on fuel as well. Donkey Chong, he's come into the pit. This is his first flying lap on the hard tyres. He's doing the same as Hirocram. I'm just short fueling. Don's come out the pits in 13th place. Brucey, he's been into the pit. He's put the softs on. He's going to make the softs, trying to make them softs last. What would this be? This would be his first flying lap. 25 minutes. Hopefully he can make that one last, because that's going to be quite a tough ask, I would think. Other guys have been struggling a little bit, it seems. Lee's there in 15th. He's just ahead of P-Gib, but P-Gib has just pitted. Leeds will be coming into the pit fairly soon. Judge comes into the pit now, so that's going to, even if Dark Clark had caught up to him, Dark Clark's just going to have a nice free bit of track to try and set. He's probably got 1 lap with the fuel that he's got. Just absolutely rev the nuts out of it. Put as much into this lap as he can. There you go, he's gone purple. Through the first sector is Dark Clark. But I don't think no matter what you do, you've got to be about half a second up through the bus stop to try and claim that fastest lap on that point. Let's see if Dark Clock stays purple through sector 2. As he comes onto the banking. He's lost 2 temps already. That'll probably be down to the tyre wear as well. Not helping Midnight there. He's going to be coming into the pit fairly shortly. Toby there. Still a little bit laggy from him coming onto the banking. His fuel light's just come on. Martin R. He's still got 40% left of fuel. So I don't know what he's doing there with his tyre wear, but fuel wear, but clearly eking out as much as he can, so he's not long in the pit in the last pit stop, which he'll have to still do the three required laps on that set of. I think he's going for the hards at the end. Still will do the minimum 3, so hopefully he won't push it too far and be too late. The Dark Clock comes into the pit. See if he... This is what's happened with Judge. Judge has come out in 9th place. He's put a full tank of fuel in onto the racing hards for the last 20 minutes. Also, Midnight's come into the pit now as well, so we're all going to kind of go through the second pit stops. So Martin Art leads the way at the moment. Heracram into second. Dark Clock hasn't put any fuel into the car yet, but Dark Clock, Midnight, Toby and James all in the pit. Ibuki goes through in 3rd place. Fat Pickles goes through into 4th. We've got anyone else coming through. Judge there, he's now going to move him right back up into 5th. Seabury comes out in relation to Dark Clock. Dark Clock, he's put a full tank in, but he's onto the softs now, where Judge is on the hard tyres. So what was the in-laps? Slower for Dark Clock on the in-lap. So yeah, Dark Clock just had a... must have had a good lap when Judge was, what was it, lap 21? Must have, oh no, sorry, yeah. Judge had a 2:11 to Dark Clock's 2:09.8. So yeah, that'd be where that time has been gained there for Dark Clock over Judge. So now Dark Clock technically moves up into 2nd place once everyone makes their pit stops. Toby there, he's come out into 7th place, so he's been able to jump Midnight. So Midnight's down to 8th place now. Don there in 9th. If he's got enough fuel to get to the end, because that seems quite low, just over 3/4 of a tank for 18 minutes of racing. Donkey there, he's got to come into the pit at some point soon. Not going to make that fuel tank last to the end. JRC not too far behind in 11th place. Golden Brownie in 12th. Oh, he's having a little battle here with Brucey as we're coming up towards the bus stop. Golden Brownie just puts the brakes on a little bit earlier and allows Brucey to get back through. So still got 17 minutes of racing left, so still plenty to play for. There's no point trying to push, and especially Brucey's got more warm tyres and less fuel than Golden Brownie, so definitely something to consider. Obviously Golden probably knows this, seeing Brucey's gone in early. James there, he's on his outlap, he's on the hard tyres, so that's going to be a struggle there in 13th at the moment. Moves himself up to 11 with pit stops from Fabuki and Fat Pickles and Donkey. Pigib there in 15th. Is he going to be able to jump any of these? I think he might be able to jump Donkey. The Donkey hasn't started putting any fuel in yet. Only up to 14th. Fat Pickles comes out in 13th, and Fabuki comes out just in. Now we've got a 4-way fight between JRC, Brucey, Fabuki and Golden Brownie for, what's this, 8th place. So they're going to be fighting hard for the last 16 minutes to see who can be at the front of this group when the checkered flag comes out. Fabuki there holds off Brucey for that 9th place, and Hurricane, did he do his required 3 laps? Looks like he done 4 laps, 5 laps in total. So yeah, 5 laps on the hard tyres for Hurricane. See where he comes out, because he'll probably be putting on the softs, full tank of fuel, and just absolutely going for it. Try and catch up to Dark Clark there, who's slipped himself into 2nd place now. Hurricane still hasn't started putting fuel in, so it looks like Dark Clark's been able to jump Hurricane, with Hurricane having to make that extra pit stop compared to some of the other guys. Let's see how much fuel Hurricane puts in. 78%, so not a full tank. He'll come out in 5th place, 6th place, make that, because Midnight's just got past him into the International Horseshoe. But I don't see Hurricane staying behind Midnight for too long. Midnight is on the mediums compared to Hurricane's soft tyres. Toby isn't too far up ahead the row either, 3 or 4 seconds between Toby and Midnight. Still a little bit of a jump scare from Toby onto the banking. Judge there, he's about 5 seconds in front of Toby as well, so Hurricane's got about 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds to try and get onto the podium. Dark Clark there, he's just going even faster. At the moment, Martin, yeah, he's not going to make any more. He's going to get to about 50 minutes, so he's going to have about 10 minutes on the hard tyres for the end of the race. But obviously, he's not going to have to put too much fuel in, you know, half a tank or so to get to the end, or maybe put a little bit more in so you can just rev it out until the end. Try and go a little bit faster down the straights, but Dark Clark there, 46.6. Ooh, what's that? 1400ths slower than Hurricane last time round. So yeah, Dark Clark's definitely got the pace, or Hurricane pace at the moment. Obviously, even though that Ford is mighty fine in a straight line, Dark Clark's pretty much matching the lap times. Just there, looks like he is struggling on them hard tyres. Is he leading time to Toby? Yeah, Toby's doing low 48s to Judge's mid 49s. So a second between the two of them, and there's only about 3-4 seconds up the road is Judge. Hurricane, he's got past Midnight. I'm just going to guess that was on the straight. There's not much point in winding back to see how that one was done, so I'm going to be up towards the bus stop or down towards turn 1. Hurricane's going to have his eyes set firmly on that SpongeBob Lexus in front of him. He's gone purple as Hurricane by a 10.5 through the infield section. Oh, a little bit of a dip below the yellow line there for Hurricane. Lost him a little bit of time. There goes Judge, there goes Toby. Here comes Hurricane and Midnight, the top 6 there. Apart from Dark Clark and Martin. Martin has obviously got a pit, but Dark Clark's got a nice little healthy lead. But yeah, that battle for 3rd to 6th is still fairly close. Obviously Midnight picked up a penalty there. Don there in 7th place with JRC in 8th. Fubuki in 9th place. Brucey 10th. And Golden Brownie in 11th. Just looking at the fuel, Brucey's not got much less than the other guys around him. He's got a little bit less, so maybe need a bit of fuel saving. Maybe let Golden Brownie get in front of him and try and fuel save for a couple laps to make sure you're going to get it to the end. They're going side by side between Golden Brownie and Brucey in towards turn 1. Golden Brownie can't make that move. Oh, Brucey gets it all tail happy through the S's. Is that going to allow Golden Brownie to get back past? No, it's not. Still can't get past Golden Brownie. Now he tries for the switch back on the exit. No, Brucey's still just ahead. It's going to slip in front of him through the kink. Is Golden Brownie going to dart out to the right hand side? No, he's going to stay in behind. Probably wise, seeing that the Jag is so much faster than the Beetle in a straight line. As we're coming up towards this left-hander onto the banking once more. But Brucey goes out wide there. Golden Brownie going to slip up the inside, but I'll guarantee you if I go here, you'll just see the nose of the Jag in a second. You can see him in the mirror. Let's go. Where is he? Where is Brucey? Oh no, he slipped in behind. Did Brucey? I thought he'd be trying to power on past Golden Brownie. Maybe he's realised that he does need to save a little bit of fuel to make it to the end. We've got just under 10 minutes. Obviously Martin R's come into the pits now. Interesting to see where he comes out in relation to his fuel's going in. That's a little bit about half a tank. Wasn't far off, 45% for Martin R. He's coming out in second place alongside Toby and Judge. Oh, Toby's got past Judge as well. Where did this happen? Oh, just down the straight. So Toby had just caught up to Judge and just used the power of the Lexus and the slipstream just to get past Judge as they come across the start-finish line to start lap 28. Judge there doesn't look like he's going to give up too much fight, does run it in a little bit hot, but yeah, just slips in behind Judge. And obviously now we get to see Martin R coming out of the pits once again. Going to be on the outside. Judge there going to try and slip on the inside of Martin R, but Martin R doesn't want to concede that third spot on the podium to Judge. Obviously Judge has got a little bit of wear on his tyres compared to Martin R, but Martin R's got to warm them tyres up. Got a little bit hot, does it seem? No, Martin R gets it squared off nicely. Runs it on the grass. Obviously he hasn't been on the hard tyres all race. Picks up a half-second penalty for doing so as well. So that's going to just drop in behind Judge and potentially Herocram, who is just blown up to the rear end of these guys. He's gone quicker, 46.563. It was a 6.79, I believe, and that was set fairly early on. But is Martin R going to fight this position in towards the bus stop? Judge is trying to make that move around the outside. Oh, he's got a yellow flag. Who was that for? Was that for Dark Clark? No, it would have been for Leeds. Okay. So Judge there moves his way into third place. Herocram going on the outside of Martin R, not even wanting to use a slipstream to catch up to the rear end of Judge. Is Herocram going to try and get back up to, you can see third just in front of him, and you can see second as well. Judge there not even going to contest with the speed of Herocram in that Ford. And Dark Clark's gone through, so it is Leeds, you can see just ahead of Toby. There you go, coming out of the International Horseshoe. And there's Toby coming out of the International Horseshoe. So Toby's got about a second and a half to Herocram in third now. So it looks like Herocram could be able to claim back to second spot. I think Dark Clark's too far ahead. Judge there, he's picked up a half-second penalty. That's going to drop him back towards Martin R there in fifth place. Midnight there in sixth. A bit of a lonely last stint for Midnight. Not been able to catch up to many of the guys, but JRC there in seventh place, still heading Don and Fabuki. Golden Brownie a little bit off from this pack. So these four guys have slowly split up over time. Brucey there, he slipped off the rear end of Golden Brownie as well. Obviously that's not going to be helping your tyre wear, Brucey. That's just going to wear him out that a little bit more. But he's got quarter of a tank, where a lot of the other guys are just over quarter of a tank. So yeah, Brucey's definitely having to fuel save a little bit here to make sure he makes it to the line Fat Pickles doesn't even have to worry. He's got half a tank left. Soft tyres that are fairly decent. What time that did he come in? Lap 23. And Brucey came in before even the 20s. So God knows when Brucey came in. Golden Brownie 21. So yeah, Fat Pickles on a charge. Infinity James, he's gone to the hards for the last stint. P-Gibb's gone to the softs. They're going to be fairly well worn by the end. Donkey Chong, he went for the softs. I think he went for a free stop, did Donkey Chong. Hasn't worked out for this one. And Leeds is still going round. He's just having fun driving around in the Ferrari at Daytona. But Dark Clark comes up to 5 minutes left of the race. And how far has he got ahead of? He's got about 9 seconds over Toby. The Herocram right up to the rear end now of this Lexus. Taps the wall, does Toby. Don't know if that was lag or he actually done it himself. But that Ford not closing in too much on Toby as we're coming around the banking down to the back straight. And now you can see the Ford slowly closing in with that slipstream as well. Herocram really closing in through the bus stop. Toby gets a nice drive through there. I don't know if that was a penalty or not from either of them. And looks like we're all clear. It seems close from the rear view camera on Toby's car there, but clearly it was fine. But yeah, had a good exit. It's not allowed Herocram to use that forward power to catch up too much to the rear end of this Lexus. Definitely the fight for the second and third on the podium. But Dark Clark's probably going to wrap this one up as long as he doesn't make a mistake in the last 4 minutes of this race. Judge there, he served that half second. He's now got Martin R right behind him, and obviously Midnight is closing in 47 to the 49s the last time round, so he caught up second and a half or more on the two guys in front of him, and he's only about 2 seconds off. So another lap from like that from Midnight, and he can close into the rear end of Martin R, and Judge trying to maybe sneak a little fourth place there for Midnight, which would be a great result for him. As we always know that Midnight doesn't like the car, doesn't like the track, doesn't like the tyres, doesn't like the time of day or the weather. And JRC there in 7th, he's pulled away from Don. Both of them two got a lot less fuel than Fubuki and Golden Brownie. Golden Brownie's right up the rear end of Fubuki now. Fubuki must have had he's had a 154 on the last lap, so dropped himself 6 seconds closer to Golden Brownie, because I know he was a lot further up the road, so not too sure what happened to Fubuki there. But Fat Pickles, he's got past Brucey, 47.5, 48.8. Golden Brownie, yeah, these guys are going a couple of seconds slower. JRC done a 47.8 as well, so JRC's pushing it. Fuel lights come on for JRC. Will he have enough fuel to make it to the end? We've got 2 laps to go. Normally that comes on with 2 laps to go, the fuel light. So JRC's going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving here, it looks like, to make it to the end. Same as Don, his fuel lights come on now as well. Brucey's fuel lights on, so same as P. Gibb. So yeah, a few guys with their fuel lights on. Just having a quick flick through, yeah, the back here, but Herocram still tucked up behind Toby at the moment. Where is Leeds in relation? A couple of seconds in front of Toby and Herocram, but Toby seems to get a good drive onto the banking once again. Just pulls out a little bit of a gap to Herocram Here comes just then too far away to use the power of the Ford to make a move, it seems. Just there, he's got Martin R, and Midnight's now joined the battle here for 4th place. Says Midnight timed this one perfectly. He's on the mediums, where these two are on the hards. And has he got enough fuel? Yes, he has Midnight. So will Judge try and give the slipstream to Midnight? It looks like he's going to. The Ferrari's working together. Midnight's up to 5th place. He's going to move up into 4th place. Gets the move done as we come into the last 30 seconds of the race. These three, are going to go for one more lap. And Hirocam, I've just noticed, got past Toby. Did Toby have a penalty? Nope, it was just Hirocam using the superior speed as we came through the penalty gates. It just looked like Toby was going slower. Hirocam's moved himself up to 2nd place now as well. On to the last lap they go. Dark Clock's up there ahead, so yeah, these three go through. Fubuki and Don. Don looks like he's fuel saving quite a bit. He's dropped back behind Fubuki now into 8th place. Will these guys get another lap? Yes, they will. Golden Runner JRC's dropped down to 10th, so he's really having to fuel save now. Fat Pickles gets another lap. Will Brucey get another lap? Yes, and Infinity James is on his last lap, so P-Gib will finish in 14th place. Donkey Kong will come across to finish in 15th, and Leeds will finish in 16th. Got to go back to where the battle is. Looks like Hirocam's been able to stretch that little gap over Toby. Midnight there, he's worked his way up to 4th place. A whole hour of racing, and he gets 2 positions on the penultimate lap of the race. He's moved himself to 4th, just a little bit too far to go to Toby up ahead. There's only 4 or 5 seconds between them. He's been able to get that 4th place. Judge 5th, Martin R 6th. Did any of these three get a penalty on the last bit? Doesn't look like they did. Nope. But across up to the line comes Dark Clark to win the first race at Daytona in his Ferrari. Hirocam will come across to finish in 2nd place with his 3 stops. Toby will finish in 3rd. Midnight claims that 4th place, just ahead of Judge in 5th, Martin R in 6th. Fubuki, after a bad start with Donkey Kong, he's going to come home to finish in 7th place. As long as his fuel makes it, looks like he's going to. Yep, so Fubuki in 7th. Golden Brownie in 8th place, just ahead of Fat Pickles there in 9th. Portugal Don, he's run out of fuel. He's going to finish in 10th place. Infinity James finishes in 11th. JRC ends up going into the pit at the end of the race. Probably didn't have enough fuel and didn't think he'd really make it. But and then Brucey, a nice leisurely drive from Brucey here as we've got 50 seconds left of the replay. He's going to finish in 13th place. Then along at 50 mile an hour here. Obviously, if you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. Maybe consider subscribing. I won't sit here and wait till Brucey finishes. I don't think he's going to get across to the line before the timer runs out. So yeah, and until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye. Why is it not letting me end?